Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's personal development training. I am your host, Joel Dunn. Today, we are going to be talking about how to finish your year strong. See, we're about 6 weeks out from the end of the year. So now is a great time to take inventory of where you're at, see what you've accomplished, see what you still have left to accomplish so that you can finish this year stronger than you started. Today, we want to maximize the remaining part of this year, set out your clear priorities, maintaining your focus, and leveraging actionable strategies so that you can do the things that you set out to do this year. So, how do we do that? Well, the first thing we should probably do is reflect on the achievements and the things that you've already accomplished this year. Take a look at your checklist, see the things that you already got checked off. Now, take some time and applaud yourself, guys. Hand clap, audible hand clap out there. Let yourself know that you did an awesome job checking things off your goal list for the year. Now, the next thing is to finish the year strong. You have to set a positive tone for the remainder of the year. Don't look at the things that you haven't accomplished yet and get yourself down. Look at them as things that you still have 6 weeks left to crush as goals. So we went through, we reviewed, we reflected. We need to assess the goals that you set at the beginning of the year, identify the accomplishments that you already did, write down the lessons that you learned while going through them, and even look at the setbacks that you were able to overcome and the successes that you've actually completed, and take the lessons from those so that you can apply them to the remaining portion of your year. The next thing we got to do is we need to reprioritize your goals. See, focused on the most impactful, important things that you realistically have the ability to achieve. At the beginning of the year, we set out BHAGs, big, hairy, audacious goals. These are things that all things are going to have to move in the great direction. God's going to have to move heaven and earth in order for them to be accomplished in a year timeline. But if you don't set those big, hairy, audacious goals, you don't have a stretch goal. So make sure that the things that you're looking to accomplish by the end of this year are still the realistic, achievable ones, not your big, hairy, audacious goals. You're always going to move those forward into the next year because that is your life mission. That is the direction that you're going. Those are the huge, big accomplishments that you want to take care of. Next, once you've reprioritized what you're going to do, use your 80-20 rule to identify tasks that bring the highest return. Which of these things that you want to accomplish by the end of the year are going to give you the biggest bang for your buck, the biggest return for the time that you invest over the next 6 weeks? Focus on those. And then, guys, what do we always do when we look at goals? We break larger things down into smaller, manageable, actionable tasks. So take what you have and divide it out by the remaining weeks that you have left and figure out what actions you need to take each week to achieve that objective. And then make it even smaller, break it down into daily actions that you have to complete. And always remember to use the SMART goal criteria, which is making sure that it's specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and it's time bound. We obviously know that it's time bound because we're trying to get it done by the end of the year. Now, guys, how many times have I had to say this? Need to know why you're doing it. So the next step again is to revisit your why. Fill up that cup. Put gas on this fire. Reflect on your motivation behind each of these goals that you're trying to accomplish. Because when you fill that up, even though we're towards the end of the year when you should be run down, you've been running hard for 11 months. You're tired. It's okay to rest, but you can refill your cup with your why, realigning your efforts with your values and your long-term aspirations will push you here at the end of the month to get what you want done for your year. Also, guys, make sure you time block. We've started talking about this as one of the foundations of what you can do throughout your day. Make sure you're scheduling focused time for your activities. These are places where you take small blocks, maybe 15 minutes, minimize distractions, and allocate specific tasks that you know that when you focus and you get them done, it creates greater return than if you just do them sparsely throughout the day. So take time to time block, plan, focus, and do the small things for 15 minutes that compound into greater results. As always, guys, you need to stay consistent and disciplined. We've spent the year creating habits, why we need to create habits, why we need to be consistent, why we need persistency. Now is the time to enact those. Make sure that your habits that you've created are reinforcing the activities that it's going to take for you to hit your goals at the end of this year. Show up daily even when your motivation is gone. Guys, we talk about this ad nauseum. Your motivation is fleeting, it is an emotion. It is your habits and your disciplines that carry you through to success. Also, want to insert in here, you should probably take some time for self care. We've talked about this a little bit this year, how you need to prioritize rest, exercise, and mindfulness to sustain your energy. That's even important now at the end of the year, and maybe even more important because we're going into the holiday season, which we all know is physically and mentally and emotionally draining. So do something each day to maintain your physical, mental, and emotional health. If you create this as one of your habits, it will push you through. Because if you notice a hallmark of uh, successful, high achieving people, they all have some sort of physical regimen that they do. They also have a small amount of time that they block out for mental and emotional health. So make sure that you add this in for the remainder of the year if you haven't already done it, and continue it on for the remainder of the following years. Also, another thing that you should be doing right now is possibly thinking about what your preliminary goals and strategies are for next year, because you're going to use these last few weeks to build momentum and mark this year into next year. See, when you take time to look at your goals now on how they impacted this year, but also how they compounded into next year, you have the ability to jumpstart your year with the remaining portion of this year. So again, plan your preliminary goals for next year, which could be taking some of the things that you planned that you didn't get to this year and putting them to the front of your year next year. That helps build momentum and keeps you moving forward, because you know that when you continue to create momentum, that wheel gets easier and easier and easier to move. Guys, some of the things I wanted to leave you with today is, how about we take a list of 3 goals that we want to complete by the end of the year? Take a look at what you had lined up for this year. Take 3 of the ones that you didn't accomplish that you're pretty sure that if you focus and create the momentum behind it, you could accomplish them this year. Take 3 of those, get the action steps for each one of them that you know that you can do each day, and also write down potential obstacles that could keep you from getting them done by the end of the year. But also add to it, what are the solutions to those potential obstacles? Because you know they're going to come. So if you already have the solutions ready, you should be ready to rock and roll. Guys, the importance of focus, consistency, and intentionality on the goals that you set for this year here in this last 6 week window will help you finish the month strong, close it out better than you started, and catapult you into next year. Guys, I hope this helped. Make sure that you're subscribing, you're getting the notifications every time one of these trainings comes on. Share it with a friend. Create your community that grows together with you. Guys, go out and make it an amazing day, and I hope your day is as awesome as you are.